Hello and welcome to the first Geek 411. We're doing something a little special, and that is that we are going to be chatting about some of our upcoming content. And it's not just the robe that people can find on twitch.tv/1geek411 Thursday, April 28th for our book club, but it's going to be kind of more general content that we have coming up soon. And so this was an idea that apparently multiple of us had been mulling over and had similar ideas. And so a couple of weeks ago, we sat down as a group of hosts and kind of had a nice chat about the future of the channel and stuff like that. And so if you've watched any of the recent content, you've actually already seen some of this coming into play. And so we're pretty excited to have ideas for what we can do for the future of the channel. And so before we get into some of the stuff, anything y'all want to say about it?
Cool
I
beans.
think I'm excited.
Cool beans.
Beans.
Much excited.
Beans.
So as always, hop in, I guess, as we go. So that way it's not just me talking. But when it comes to our goals, and I kind of framed it with the idea of being timely and timeless. So I think that that's a great way of kind of thinking about the channel and things like that. When we first started, and I want to say I think that this has been an evolution for us for the however many years now it's been. And so when we first started, we were recording on Mondays, releasing on Fridays. And so it was possible that there was stuff that was like a week and a half to almost 2 weeks old by the time that we were actually having content released. Once we moved into phase 3, when we brought on Shanine and Emma, one of the big changes that we made is a much bigger tightening of that release schedule, so that we were recording on Mondays, doing the streams, doing all of that, and then dropping episodes on Wednesday to kind of help with that timely side of it. And Shanine, a lot of the things that you put down for the ideas kind of hit these themes for me, because I do think that these are like the two big parts. And so again, so like the idea of being timely, like again, when you think about content, a lot of great content is the, hey, this trailer dropped, here's the reaction. Like that's timely. And then the other side of it is the, hey, this is I'm raising my hand so I can find it, our Pixar ranking list that is kind of timeless. I mean, obviously they're going to release new Pixar movies and stuff like that. But that's like the timeless side of it. It's something that isn't just here's what happened this week, things like that. And so I think that was a big part of what we were talking about. And Shanine, one of the big ideas that you had is the idea of setting up themes. You want to talk about that some?
Right. I think the idea of themes is a little bit getting to dig more into some specific geeky things, dig deeper into those things, discuss more specific stuff, and not be tied down to the news that has happened in the past week. We can talk about various themes, like broad themes like sci-fi, or specific themes like Doctor Who. Just whatever, anything geeky. And I think also being more interactive with you, our audience, with that as well. You'll know what we're going to be talking about for a few weeks, and we'll be interacting with you on that theme as well.
And so for like the current plan is that we're going to be doing monthly themes. We may see this change. We may see some themes not be a full month. Some of the themes may be, as Shanine was saying, maybe like really specific, like Doctor Who. Some may be very broad, like sci-fi. And so there are definitely going to be some changes there. And then part of what we're going to also be doing with that is tying in some of the themes with events that are going on. And so an example of that is going to be our theme for May. May's theme is the Sage. And so we're going to be looking at mentor characters and things like that and tying that in with different mediums and different examples. And so really hope people are excited about coming and hanging out for that month. Yeah, this is, again, I thought that this was such a cool idea, and I'm super excited, Shanine, that you like thought of this. And I'm very excited for what this is going to mean for our content going forward. From there, the next big thing, and this is what some people have already seen, is some changes to the general format of the show. So if you watched episode 204, I'm going to raise my hand so I remember to bring it in for people. So it's up in the corner. One of the things that Chris was doing during that was actually bringing up the news topics or the Thor Love and Thunder trailer and things like that, so we can actually have them on the stream. This is, again, one of those ideas that got brought up, and then Chris had kind of on his own already been mulling over this new overlay. And as we were talking about it, he was like, oh, I have a great thing ready to go for that. And so we'll be bringing in that style, being able to leverage the video side of this. Because I do think that really for 3.0, we really thought of ourselves still as a podcast that just happened to be recording and streaming. And I think that this is going to be a big change into, again, try not to leave out anyone that happens to just listen to it on the audio side, but very much thinking of how can we leverage the fact that we are on Twitch and are on YouTube, and leveraging that as a way of kind of providing some additional content.
Right. And we will resume publishing on our podcast websites. I know I fell off on that last year, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. I tried to get caught up and then I got overwhelmed, and then it was bad. It's bad, guys.
And it happens. Like, I know that as the person who manages the YouTube, my big thing is I want to make sure I hit the normal episodes, but man, we're backed up with the gameplay streams. So again, that's one of my goals, is to be more on top of it with that, so that we can actually have those be more consistent, and stuff like that. So
yeah, we'll probably be doing like going along with our themes and like just different. So we have working with so many different formats now, just so we can switch it up, see what fits.
Mm-hmm.
Like with this new template, I have some trivia games planned potentially down the road.
Ooh, I like trivia. And yeah, and just jumping off of what Chris just said, a big thing that we're going to be seeing is a shakeup to the types of episodes that we have. And so again, people saw this when we did our Pixar ranking. That was a big change up. That was something that, while we were starting to roll this out, we'd actually already talked about all of this when we did that ranking. But we weren't ready to announce it. We wanted to get a little bit more time just to sit with it and think about it. But that was kind of an example of us wanting to be timely with that, because there was a lot of discussion based on it being from an IGN article. And so we wanted to go ahead and kind of test the waters with it. And so we'll be seeing a lot more of those different styles of shows. And some of the ideas with that is you'll have our normal like discussion-y style shows, kind of what we've been at since 3.0. You'll have tier lists. We'll be bringing back spoiler casts. Not necessarily something that we intentionally stopped, but it was just hard for us to all see a movie.
Been a lot of things that we just...
And so we'll be having the return of spoiler casts. We might be doing some more like evergreen movie reviews, in the sense of almost like the must-see movie of the week that we used to do. Bringing back that style where we'll go back and we'll be looking at an older movie that fits the theme And so that week's episode will be a conversation around that movie. Again, kind of think book club as well, but for a specific movie that's on the theme.
A lot faster to complete too.
Yeah,
Most
I'm definitely
two
up
and a
for
half,
that.
3 hours. Yeah.
I'm a much better movie watcher than I am book reader. So we'll also be doing more faith chats. Again, tying in these with our themes. And then Chris already mentioned games and trivia. With leveraging the video format, we also will probably be leveraging some more like I feel like reacts content has a bad connotation. But some connotation or some things around, hey, let's as a group watch this and then talk about what we think about it.
Probably more of an analysis is what
Yeah.
we'll do, because I will not be
Oh,
throwing my
sorry.
headphones down and running around the room.
But Chris, it's for the subs. And then
Okay, fine.
the final
If we
format
reach
idea that we
500
have right
subs,
now. The final one that we have written down, there will be more. These are going to be fluid, and obviously not every month is going to have all of these. But we're also going to be doing a monthly recap. This ties in with what Shanine was kind of saying at the beginning, moving away from the every week trying to hit on news and discussion topics. We may transition this to like a one topic a week, kind of doing a topic of the show kind of thing. There may be weeks that we just don't discuss news at all. And so as part of that, at the end of the month, what we're going to do is a monthly recap. So kind of a look back at what's some of the biggest news that has occurred. What are some of the things that that we want to talk about and have a discussion about now that it is the end of the month, and kind of look back on that and talk about what we thought was cool or crazy or what else Elon Musk has bought. But anything else y'all want to say about the different formats?
one thing we're also working on is like with our individual formats, we are putting together some ideas for better interaction for you, for those that tune in to us live. So with our channel points and stuff like that. So like with our ranking lists, we are playing with the idea of allowing you to use your channel points for like we have vetoes against each other. You may also veto us, but it'll be one veto per watcher as well. Things like that, but we'll play with as we develop other formats too, we'll play with other channel point ideas.
Yeah, I think that'll be a big part as we do even theme suggestions or like things like that. As we're doing our top threes within the themes, we may do some sort of polls around what are some of the ideas, things like that, of how we can tie those in. And then with that, we're still keeping top threes around. There are not going to be every week because it kind of like the Pixar thing. It doesn't make sense to do a top three after we just did a ranking list.
It'll just depend on where they fit in.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's our big stuff that we have coming. Again, we're really excited about it. Anything else, Shanine? Chris, you want to say?
I think you got it.
Goose fraba.
And so, listeners, people, come join us in the Discord, hang out. We want to hear what you think. We want to hear cool tier list ideas, especially. And we definitely want to hang out. And so if there's any ideas along those lines, if there's any specific types of episodes that you would like to see us tackle, let us know so that we can circle back and figure out what that is going to be. Again, we're really excited for what this means for us as a cast. And so really appreciate anyone and any support that we can get in that. So with that, everyone, you can find us as First Geek 411 on our social medias. Join that Discord server. Shoot us an email at 1stgeek41@gmail.com. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And remember, you can watch live, be part of our post-show chats over on twitch.tv/1geek411. And then, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. It's been a great discussion about the future.
Go future.
Yes.